All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rekah Kadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say Shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. This is a question from a young brother. I want to be short and precise. Okay, so the question was this. Let me pull it up here and read it to you all, and I'll crop the brother's name off. It says, "Hey, Brother Yuan, I was wondering, will there still be a lesson?" Because he asked me this about a week ago. I forgot and didn't get around to it, so lucky for that. Yeah, he asked me this morning again. He said, "Hey, Brother Yuan, I was wondering, will there still be a lesson on being a single 23-year-old and having struggles with," I'm not laughing at you, with corn. Replace that with a P. Obviously, we have to do that because we're on the YouTube, okay? And how to deal with it as a young guy, because it's hard sometimes. Please, can you give me advice, please, if possible? All right, so, he wants to masturbate, and he's using, corn to do it. And when you go through the laws on forbidden sexual relations, there's a bunch of laws on, even if you talk about the laws on marriage and family, those two categories. There's a PDF I'm going to put in the description box. It lists out all 613 laws. And when you go to those two categories, what you'll find is there is no law on masturbation, how that is wicked in itself. And if you do go read it, of course, go read. It'll have the precept at the end of every line, but go read it for yourself because it'll use certain words sometimes on the PDF. And you got to go behind them and be like, okay, this is what it's actually saying. Because, they don't have the full understanding clearly. Now, pornography. Pornography, when you look up the word, it goes back to an ancient obscene painting, I believe, or prostitute, the worship of Bacchus. The Romans called their Greek god of fertility, sex and wine, Bacchus. Before that, the Greeks called him Dionysus. Let me go look it up. I gotta go look up what the Greeks called him. I know the Romans called him Bacchus. Let me see here. All right, Dionysus. All right, yeah. So you could link that to pagan worship if you want. But here on this side, all the women are going to be like in the definition of pornography, it mentions prostitutes. I would say, go deal with the woman. Make sure you're strapped up and deal with a woman that way. As a man that's auditioning for kingship to one day govern the world, if that's what you're doing. It wouldn't be the best of habits to be standing in front of a screen shaking your member. Just go deal with a woman. And primarily our focus should be on this walk, man. Women gonna be there, and we gotta practice self-restraint on this side. It's gonna be a plethora of women, during Jacob's trouble. If you're a part of that number, that's gonna be delivered. And we're gonna have to turn a lot of them down. We're gonna have to have some self-restraint and see clearly. So, if you could practice that now here on this side, man, that would be beneficial to you. Okay. Now, again, masturbation in itself is not a sin. And a lot of people, they'll use the example with Onan spilling his seed because he was supposed to go into his brother's wife. Okay. His brother passed away without having children. So his brother, the law, like it states, he was supposed to go into his brother's wife and raise children up to his brother. But when he laid with his brother's wife, he just spilled the seed. So he just laid with his brother's wife just for the sake of doing it. And he pulled out. They'll use that. It wasn't that, pulling out was wicked. It was that he was supposed to fulfill a duty to his brother. So the Lord killed Onan. You understand? Because he didn't go through fulfilling the duty. All right. So a lot of people, I know they'll try to use that example with masturbation, which it has nothing to do with masturbation. They'll try to say, well, you're just spilling your seed. No, dude, it was a situation behind that. There were parameters behind, what happened there and why the Lord was upset because he didn't raise up seed to his brother. So let's get some precepts. And I'll say this before before we get into it. Don't be basing your everyday decisions and what you're giving your time to off a nut. Don't. As a man of the Lord, our decisions shouldn't be based off of busting a nut. Yeah, we're going to want to have our release from time to time. But again, if possible, bro, deal with a woman, you know? So let's go to 1 Peter 2:11. It says, "Dearly beloved, I beseech you as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lust, which war against the soul." Now let's go read that in the NLT. I'm gonna go read it in NLT, 1 Peter 2:11. Bear with me while I change the version here. 1 Peter 2:11. It says, "Dear friends, I warn you as temporary residents and foreigners to keep away from worldly desires that wage war against your very souls." Now, amongst the, Gentiles, and the Gentiles are Israelite foreigners, when people are coming into this walk, we have to be examples on how to walk towards Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And we want to, appear blameless. So, there's particular things that may not be written in the law not to do. But, you're amongst a brother that's coming up and is trying to learn and is in his infancy stage of understanding what this walk is all about, what forwarding the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is all about. There's certain things you might just want to abstain from. Now, again, masturbation is not a sin. I hope you're catching the nuances of what I'm saying. Masturbation itself is not a sin, but there's particular things that may not be necessary for you to do here in this time, and you seem to have like you understand that. But I did see in the previous comment, I can't find it right now. I don't remember which video you initially commented on. You said pornography. The brother that asked me the question said pornography is adultery. Okay, it can be looked at that way. And, it could be viewed another way as well. But me speaking as a man, hey, if it's condemning you in the mind, bro, just abstain from it. It says, "Dear friends, I warn you as temporary residents and foreigners to keep away from worldly desires that wage war against your very souls." Again, our primary focus is to be built up in the spirit, which allows us to have some self-restraint from the desires of our flesh. If that's your walk, where you just tough it out, maybe that's something you need to be built up to do in order for you to be able to endure unto the end. Maybe that's what needs to be exercised for you. So yeah. I know it's tough. You're a young man in this walk, and these women ain't shit. I don't know if you struggle in the department of having access to women, because not every brother just could get some box just like that. I'm not gonna be unrealistic and say, oh, just go. Hey, I understand the reality of the times that we in. That what's the statistic? They say what is it? 80% of men haven't had sex within the last year. So that's a very, very high number. So I'm not gonna be unrealistic and say, hey, brother, just go deal with a woman. But hey, if you got to come out of pocket, if it's killing you that bad, bro, just do it that way. You're not going off. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's not an ideal thing to do. It's not something that I do. But again, yeah, masturbation in itself is not a sin. But our primary focus, bro, should be growing and understanding. I don't know if you're out on the highways and byways teaching, but getting amongst whatever camp you're close to, maybe being on the other side for a while, learning, getting built up so that you can do your reasonable service. I'll tell you that if you when you going hard for the Lord, the things that He wants you to have, He'll give it to you. I'll put it that way. Oh, the scriptures even say that. Let me get it real quick for you. It's Matthew 6:33. It says, "But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh." Okay, you got to seek this first. "But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." And you jump back up in the same chapter to verse 19. We always talk about us building our riches in the kingdom of heaven. You do that, the Lord gonna make sure you're straight, bro. You know? So, Lord willing, this was helpful. Lord willing, you caught the nuances of what I was saying. But yeah, if you can, bro, get amongst, brothers. I don't know if this is a dummy account. Sometimes brothers, I'm not gonna say brothers, but I know sometimes Jake out there, if they are a part of a congregation, so it's dudes that I know in other congregations that make dummy accounts, and they might be trying to ask the men that they truly believe to be the men of the Lord a question, that they don't feel comfortable asking in those other groups, or I always kind of weary those accounts that don't have a picture or no videos up, or not, you just, you know what I mean? It's just strange. But yeah, bro, if you're sincere, my best advice to you, okay, on the grand scheme of things, would go amongst, whatever group of brothers is closest to you, a Great Millstone. If you're not in the camp already, be on the other side, listen and learn. Get built up in the spirit so that you could do the work. And in that process of you giving your time and focusing in that fashion, the things that the Lord desires for you to have to fulfill the mission, to get through and fulfill the mission, okay, it'll be added unto you, bro. So with that being said, man, I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth and sincerity. All right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.